Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. Again, thanks for joining us. Brand new season here on the program. And here are the 5 bowlers that will be with us during our first 4-week series here on Stars and Strikes. Tom Morgan, Kevin Davis today, as we already told you. The rest of the ladder, number 3, Bill Koffold will be in next week to face the winner of this match. Mark Gregory is our number 2 seed. Bob Kelly is the number 1 seed. And as Dan mentioned earlier, a lot of familiar names in that group. So Tom Morgan ready to get our match started. And you might have noticed that there was a tie among Bill Koffold and Kevin Davis at 695 in the roll-off score. Those ties are broken by the highest single string rolled in the roll-off. Of course, the roll-off's comprised of 5 games, total pinfall determining our 5 bowlers on the program. And Bill Koffold and Kevin Davis each shot a 695, but Bill Koffold's high game was 177. Kevin Davis's high game was 165. That broke the tie for third, so that's why Kevin is the number 4 seed and throwing in our first week here. We should also mention, Dan, that there was a tie for 5th place, and Tom Morgan is here because of a tiebreaker with Jack Quinn, who's been on the program several times in the past. And there's a... Oh, no! Called it a little too early. The 5-pin stands.
Thought that was over. Tom thought it was over. The rest of the crowd here thought it was over, but it stands. Yeah, that's the heartbreaker for Jackie Quinn, because the high single there cost him an appearance on the show, but unfortunately that's what we do.
And it was only by 1 pin. Tom Morgan's high single was 145. Jack Quinn's was 144. So that's how Tom winds up on the program, and he goes 9 spare to start the match. And now Kevin Davis. And Kevin has a rather unusual first ball. Well, that could have been an awful lot worse. Didn't turn out too badly for him.
In fact, it looks pretty good right now. He's looking at the 2, 9, and 10 piece of wood in front and behind the 2, which got a good chance of carrying the 9 and 10. And it's just what happens. Opening frame, opening spare for Kevin Davis.
That's going to be a nice way to open the match. You get a mark that's fairly easy to shoot at. You just sweep it all out. You get a break, take advantage of it right away.
First box in the match is always tough. First mark of the match is really tough. He's got both of those monkeys off his back right out the start.
Again, a pretty good mix for Kevin, although he was not on the head pin, and this time he's got the 1, 9, and 10. Last time it was the 2, 9, and 10.
On a different approach to the game. Miss the head pin and make your spares. 1, 9, 10. Looks pretty good.
Nothing to it, right? Couple of marks. Here's the second one.
There we go. Tom Morgan now working on a spare he put up in the second box.
Mentioned Tom was in the Tournament of Champions last spring. Tom was the number 4 seed. His match against Neil Goslin. Neil hit him with a 149 opening game. Tom was in a hole right away, never really recovered, wound up losing the match by 32. Tom earned his way on to the Tournament of Champions last year, back in January, with back-to-back wins over Dave Blaine and Steve Vadney.
Four horsemen right for Tom. Trying to make it 3 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he does.
Fine shot. Seems like we don't see this made very often here on Stars and Strikes.
More and more over the years. I think when the plastic pin came into play, you seem to leave that corner pin more often than not. That time he was a little heavier on the head pin and kept the other 3 pins in play and was able to move the 10 pin out of there. That's 8 on the spare for Kevin. Trying to make it 3 in a row for himself. And
yes.
He does. So we bowled 7 boxes and we have 6 marks, all spares.
Again, off the head pin, and here's the 1, 9, and 10 again. This one's going to be a little more difficult, perhaps. Only 1 piece of wood in between.
Well, hang on, no. Not quite. Left the 10 pin, and this string of marks is broken at 3.
And Kevin will take a 10 box, so 62 through 4. Fine start for both bowlers to this point. As we move along here over the next few weeks to start the new season on Stars and Strikes, we're going to be addressing some of the comments and suggestions and questions that have come in our summer mailbag. And I want to tell you, we were just deluged with mail this summer. I want to thank everyone who took the time to write in. First thing I'd like to address, though, just to make sure everyone is clear, we fell behind in our prize mailings for the bonus ball contest last season, way behind, and we apologize for that. A lot of you have written in wondering where your prizes were. Let me assure you that if you haven't received them already, you will be receiving them very shortly. They've already begun to be mailed out, and
yeah, those people who won in 1957 has finally got theirs, so yours should be coming right along in the next few years. No, just kidding.
Yeah, we really do apologize for the delay, and we appreciate your patience.
And
but if you have not received your gift yet, consolation gift from the bonus ball contest from last year, you will be receiving it very, very shortly. We've already begun the process of sending those all out.
And meanwhile, while we've been talking, Tom Morgan has continued marking his 5 marks in a row, all spares.
Kevin Davis trying to start a new skein of marks. This time he missed the head pin and not much happened. Second time in a row he's left the 10 pin on a spare try. We have the good news now about the bonus ball contest as far as the consolation prizes is we have some new prizes that we're giving away. We have some very nice coffee mugs and some baseball caps. So we'll be adding to the prize collection.
4 horsemen left for Kevin. 1, 2, 4, and 7. Sliding by the head. Woo! Almost came back and got it from the behind. Cleared out the 2, 4, 7, and one of those pins came back and just missed the head pin. And it's a 9. Kevin having trouble hitting that head pin. Trailing by 5 plus the fill that Tom Morgan will throw now.
Tom Morgan from Revere. He and his wife Linda have 2 children, 11-year-old Jamie and 9-year-old Kelly. And Tom's going to have some work on this one if he wants to get another mark.
And another spare lead. The 5, 7, 10.
With no wood. Tom works at General Electric, but he and his wife Linda are also involved in their own business, Active Play Clinics, which we've talked about before.
It's an amazing thing, too. What it is a series of sports clinics that they put on for children, bowling being, of course, one of them, and basketball and other things. And it's a great thing for the youngsters, and they're really trying to increase the number of clinics they put on, and can't think of a better guy. He really is into the game of bowling, and we need people like that, and it's a great sport for youngsters to get into at an early age.
Oh, yes. Fine shot. Tom Morgan, mark number 6 after being open in the 7th. And now Kevin Davis trying to get hot again. Had 3 marks in a row to open the game, but hasn't had one since.
Maybe that's why he wasn't trying to hit the head pin. Spread eagle this time.
Kevin was with us in one series last season here on Stars and Strikes in singles competition. That was back around Christmas time. He came in as a number 2 seed, beat Stan Mayo, advanced to a series championship match, and lost a very tough one to Bob Mazer. Bob, of course, wound up advancing to the Tournament of Champions. Kevin's never made it to the tournament, so who knows? This could be the first of a 4-week stretch to try and get there. One of these bowlers, in order to qualify, would have to win 4 matches in a row. And there's the big strike, first strike of the match. And it's for Kevin Davis here in the 8th.
It's the head pin this time, and light. And the last pin to go is that 2 pin with the head pin coming off the left sidewall to clear that out. And as Doug said, first strike of the match. And Tommy's off target with the first one. 1, 2, 6, 10.
Many of you have perhaps already discovered it, but for those who haven't, Stars and Strikes doubles is on at a new time now on the winds, but it'll be easy to remember. Stars and Strikes, of course, remains here Sunday at noon. Stars and Strikes doubles now Saturdays at noon. Of course, our season opened yesterday on Stars and Strikes doubles. So coming up this Saturday, don't forget, we'll have week number 2 of our first series there. So Saturday at noon for Stars and Strikes doubles, and Sunday at noon here on Stars and Strikes from Park Place Lanes.
4-pin left for Tom, and piece of wood looking right at him. And a mark in the 10th for Tom Morgan, 134 plus the bonus ball.